What's up guys, it's me Deshaun, and today we'll be talking about a manga that I am very passionate about. And that manga would be One Punch Man. Now originally when the anime first came out, I was not a big fan of it. I didn't really enjoy Saitama as a character, and didn't really get any type of entertainment value outside of the flashy animation and brief fight scenes. But after reading the manga, I can confidently say that this is probably the best shonen out right now and that you can read. And if you were like me and you were turned off by the series, you need to absolutely go read One Punch Man. Because when I say this series is genius, that is not an understatement. And the first example I'd like to use to deconstruct this genius that One has made with this series is the fact that One challenged himself with his character writing to make Saitama appealing. But despite this, he would have an unappealing design by being a regular bald looking guy. Rather than making Saitama a cool character and calling it a day, he made Saitama unappealing and let his writing speak for himself. Completely different from your typical shonen main characters with cool hair, muscles, and powerful designs. One Punch Man in its entirety would be a deconstruction of the shonen genre, and One is no stranger to anime because he did this before with the magical girl genre with Dangan Teshi Fan Club, completely going against tropes and other anime stereotypes, while at the same time revolutionizing it. Despite him making these parody-like genre deconstructions, you can still take these works very seriously within their own right. Imagine Bobobo, but you can actually take it seriously. His writing is as crazy as Bobobo's writing, but it can still be bizarre and serious at the same time, like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And that right there is literally just the icing on the cake. While challenging himself to make a good character with an unappealing design, he would also make this same character a parody of another character from a very popular Japanese children television series known as Anpan Man. To show you just how crazy and how deep this parody could go, I think you should look at this scene right here. Wow. Now that sounds very familiar, now doesn't it? It's almost as if he's saying One Punch. Anpan Man and Saitama would even have swapped colorways. At the beginning of the manga, we'd even see Saitama fight the main villain from Anpan Man. An Anpan Man, it is a running gag that he'd defeat Biking Man in one punch with his On Punch. Anpan Man would always punch them to the stratosphere. They'd still survive because this is a children's show. But at the beginning of One Punch Man, Saitama fights Vaccine Man, aka Biking Man, and punches him to bits, showing you that this isn't a shonen for children. In fact, there is a lot of merciless violence in this series, menacing villains, and the corruption of Hero Society. Might I add, it is handled much better than My Hero Academia. Even the questions of what it means to be a hero are handled much better in this manga than simply that ratatouille bullshit, anyone can cook, that My Hero gives you. I hate to say it, this manga is literally just better My Hero. You actually get fights, the art is better, even though My Hero's art is amazing. And as a whole, it's just doing a lot more. Take that from a guy who loved My Hero to death. But outside of me being a hater, I'd like to talk about what really makes One's mangas stand out. And it's how he can have the goofiest designs, even goofier than One Piece, and have it complemented by the most serious looking art I've ever seen, the most detailed art with these goofy designs, and you can still take a lobster wearing underwear threatening to kill a child that drew nipples on him with Sharpie marker. You can take a situation like that seriously when this monster genuinely wants to kill this kid. Despite the goofiness, it can still be frightening, and yet again, taken seriously. It takes a certain type of manga to have a giant cockroach man be a supervillain, and he genuinely catches bodies while still remaining a genuine threat to the reader. It takes a certain type of manga to have a guy dressed up as a dog as a superhero, and you genuinely want him to save lives. Yusuke Murata can take a cat and turn him into a supervillain. A cat that was overloved by one of those cat ladies that you'd see in real life. And one day he just snapped, started killing, and became a monster. He can take something as crazy as that and make a villain, a simple cat, look this horrifying. If that isn't enough for you, how about turning the ocean into a monster? Evil mineral water, shooting lasers and catching bodies. It's so serious, but not serious at the same time. Imagine explaining to your friend what you just read from One Punch Man, and it sounds like the craziest shit ever. Oh, Zombie Man got lasered to death by Homeless Emperor, a homeless man with superpowers that God bestowed upon him. And one of the strongest villains in the series just so happens to be a black sperm. And that's just the villains. Even this power system is absolutely bonkers. You have your muscle building weightlifters like Darkshine and Tank Top Master that they literally takes this gym bro attitude and turn it into a genuine power system in this series. There are samurais, ninjas, superheroes, straight up robots. And the kinds of monsters in this series are absolutely endless. From a bean sprout to aliens, evil robots this time, unknown entities that have prophecies written from them since ancient times. This manga in itself is straight up imagination food. On top of that, it would have some of the best fights I have ever seen in any manga. Granted, there are fights in other mangas that are a lot more depth-filled, like Hunter x Hunter, Bleach, things of that nature where, oh, counter my ability, this, that, and it's complicated. But these fights are literally like just turning the pages and looking at the flashiness is enough to captivate you for hours on end. Like when they swing a sword in this series, you feel the swing. You feel the weight of the punches. It's like I've never got, like in Dragon Ball, when they hit characters so hard, you feel the crash, like the dent in Piccolo's head from Nappa elbowing him, or the iconic Dragon Ball gut punch. They have shit like this in this series too. I haven't felt that for a while. I feel like I've been saying that in so many reviews. I haven't seen that. I haven't felt this in a while, bro. This though, got to. Like, if, oh my, I could only imagine what like the next season for the anime is gonna be like. The One Punch Man fan base has a very loud group of fans within them, and I will say it is for good reason. I used to not like this series. I didn't even like Saitama, but this character grew on me every single time. When all these side characters were having these insane fights and we had a little Saitama break, a little gag, it never broke the pacing or felt out of place. And what I love about his character is that it's like a split between the two sides of humanity. The two sides of every human that we can all relate to. The first being boredom. Being bored out of your mind. Everybody has been there. It's why we game. It's why we have all these hobbies. Because we just try to quench the mundane lifestyle that we all have. Everyone can relate to that. And then the other side would be the burning passion to find more out of life. The self-discipline and determination to strive and be the best that you can be. But rather than typically getting that, like with your regular shonen protagonist on the journey, striving, burning passion, and hitting the level that they want to be at, Saitama's already there and he's bored. And every time you read, it merely just makes you question, when is Saitama gonna stop being bored and finally find that excitement out of life, his purpose in life again? And what exactly is the story that one is trying to tell with his character? A regular guy that isn't so regular. Maybe you're good at an instrument. Maybe you're good at fighting games, drawing, engineering, whatever your passion might be. But once you hit that next level, what is next for you? Is life over? It's not. Saitama, despite being absolutely bored, he still goes on and saves the day, despite how boring it might be for him, despite how boring work might be, despite how boring life might be. Just like Saitama, you're still going out there striving to do better and reach the next height. From what little you do get from Saitama and his goofy moments, these moments all say a lot. And there is a reason to like him outside of him just being so strong. And rather than other mangas where you feel like the side characters get shafted, One Punch Man does every side character right, just as if you are watching Bleach. Every single hero gets their time to shine, and out of the options that you do have, you're going to click with one. Me personally, I like Drive Knight, and he's a parody of a car from the movie Knight Rider. How do you make such a cool hero design out of a car? Inspiration from a car. This manga is so good, I could literally not put it down. Just chapter after chapter after chapter, I could not stop. It was endless fun. And I got more out of it than I ever thought I would in my entire life. I get so tired of a series not having stakes, and this series will give you that with the goofiest villains of all time. And not only this, you'll get some of the best villains ever, like Garo and Orochi. Are you tired of seeing what the main characters are doing? Let's actually get a look on what it's like for the villain. What are his ideals? To become a monster that unifies humanity against him. You could compare this to Pain from Naruto, but Garo's childishness and humanity that still retains within him makes him such an enjoyable character to watch, with some of the best fights in the entire series. I was literally laying in bed reading One Punch Man on my phone, and when I saw Garo jump at Orochi and Orochi copying his technique, my jaw dropped and I sat up. A recording played in my mind. This is the toughest shit I have ever fucking seen. The set pieces are out of this world, and I cannot stress that enough to anybody. If One Punch Man was a weekly series, it would make the world a better place. And that is not glaze. If you know, you know. I've literally tried to pick apart and find flaws with this series, and I cannot find any. It is far from my favorite series, but One Punch Man deserves its respects. The only thing that I could think you might dislike about this series is its aesthetic. But if you let it grow on you like One Piece, and how cartoony it can look as well, you'll be in for a wild ride. As much as I like Dragon Ball, sometimes I can't help but feel as if One Punch Man were to be written weekly like Dragon Ball, and we're getting more of it, it would have the potential to be the new age Dragon Ball. Like, I genuinely do believe that this series has that potential. Because even like Dragon Ball, this series can be goofy and look cartoony at times, but still be taken seriously just like it. It's just hard to believe how immature this series can be at times, but still retain that same maturity. And with that feat in itself, I feel like it puts this manga in a completely different league, because I feel like anybody can read it. There are plenty of mangas and animes that I would give my masterpiece seal of approval. There are even plenty that I would say that you must read, but there are very few that can earn this spot where I would say that it would be a must own, as in you need to absolutely buy this, because if it's not in your collection, I genuinely feel like you are folding. This manga is a must-have and is worth every single penny to just look at it on paper. It takes a certain kind of manga to appeal to all types of readers. I would consider Shaman King a masterpiece, but I would not be able to recommend it as a must-buy because, for example, it's not necessarily for everybody. But One Punch Man, on the other hand, there's so much dumb fun, there's so much smart writing and deeper adult themes and deep writing that it could even appeal to someone like me who loves series like Hunter x Hunter, Fate, and Ghost in the Shell. And if you do end up reading this series, I just hope that you could look beyond that dumb fun and see the masterful ideas behind it and do not take it for granted. I am not overrating this series or glazing it. And that might just be so hard to believe, but when I tell you I'm not lying, I'm not. I hated on this. Shout outs to my subscribers Ghost and Haunted Propane, because they were telling me about One Punch Man for a long time and I just kept denying it, and I finally read it. I could not put it down. This manga, must read, must own. Go give it a chance. If you guys think I'm overrating it, please tell me what you disliked about the series in the comment section below, because I'd love to understand other perspectives on why people could think this manga is bad. I need to absolutely know why. But other than that, One Punch Man is a masterpiece. It isn't as dumb as you think it would be, and if you just want to read something dumb, read it. I know that sounds crazy, but all types of readers can get something out of it, because at the end of the day, this manga is genius. Now, with all that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe. Consider subscribing to the Patreon to help support more videos like this. And feel free to recommend a manga in the comment section below, because I will definitely check it out. And I'll see you guys in the next manga review. Y'all take it easy.